And the Packers continues. And the latest report, well, it isn't Peyton, the quarterback, in the best light. According to a former NFL general manager, Rodgers is, quote, selfish, and teammates don't like him. Coaches don't like him. It's all about Aaron. They all deal with him because he's a superstar. The longer this goes on, it shows how selfish Aaron really is. Shannon, there's a lot here about your guy. Are you buying that some of his teammates don't like him?
Sure, that's true, but that's not unique to Aaron. But there's a notion that permeates in a lot of places that everybody's liked by all in every locker room, and that's not true. Everybody's not liked in any. There's no such thing as all or every. It was kind of like the T.O. situation. Everybody always talked about how he didn't get along with certain people in his locker room, but they never talked about how he got along with a lot of people in the locker room, because 50-50 doesn't do as good as everybody. Skip, look, we know Aaron Rodgers is aloof. We know he's standoffish. We know he's condescending. We know he's blame deflecting, and sometimes even point fingers. We get all of that. But you tolerate that because he's such an exceptional talent. That's how it is in every occupation. And people making things like, okay, because he's really good at something, he must be liked by all. No. And let me tell you how this thing's work, how it's worked, Skip. In any occupation, they'll tolerate you until they can replace you. Ask Brett Favre. They tolerated he's going to retire. No, I'm not. I'm coming back. I'm going to retire. No, I'm not. I'm coming back.
Well, as you say, production. You have to continue to produce at a high level, and they'll tolerate you at a high level.
Even then, but soon as they think they can replace you, even if you're producing, ask AB. As soon as they thought they could replace him, they got him up out of there. T.O., San Francisco, Philly, Dallas.
That was all more trouble than worth, okay?
Still producing. Yeah. It's like, nah, we good.
Yeah.
But for me, Skip, look, this is not unique to Aaron. Quarterbacks are like this. Now, maybe he's taking it a little step further. Maybe you see players now, Skip, they're more outwardly with their behavior, where quarterbacks were normally reserved. They didn't exhibit the diva behavior that was known for being with receivers or cornerbacks. But it's always been in there. The quarterbacks have always been the most selfish. That's nothing new. Aaron, this is not unique to Aaron. But Skip, look, at the end of the day, you're going to tolerate this behavior because he gave you 48-4.
Okay.
That's just the way it is. You tolerate a lot of things from a lot of players when they can produce at this level.
Have you ever heard any of this about one Tom Brady?
No.
No. You don't.
But just because I don't hear it, Skip, that doesn't mean that all his teammates like him. That doesn't mean that he's not selfish. That doesn't mean that he's not some of these things. Like I said, maybe Aaron goes over, but this is not unique.
So, have we heard bits and pieces of this before? There was the Bleacher Report bombshell about 2 years ago. Some of it featuring our very own Greg Jennings, who would be the first to tell you he wasn't the easiest to play for and with, right?
No.
And do we think that Packers management still considers him a very difficult diva that they're stuck with because he stuck it to them by winning the MVP last year? That's what they think.
Well, remember Mark Murphy said, well, he's a very complicated fella.
He is.
I don't think Aaron
took too mildly.
I don't think Aaron took too kindly to that, Skip.
Okay, so I did appreciate this even off the record, you know.
No, you got to put your name behind it.
Whatever, but at least it's objective about an Aaron Rodgers who is riding this runaway train as a sympathetic figure through the offseason to the point when he was promoting the big upcoming golf shootout that he's going to participate in with Tom Brady.
Right.
He wore an offended T-shirt.
Yeah,
I'm offended.
Yeah.
You're offended by what?
God.
I'm offended that you're offended.
Well, he was offended that his coach wouldn't give him an opportunity to go for it on fourth down. And Tom Brady needled him a little bit.
Now they're making jokes about it. So could we please quickly revisit what happened on 1st and goal at the 8 in the NFC Championship game down the stretch at the end? He has 3 straight plays. This is... You're throwing to who? I don't know where that one was going. And then 2nd and goal from the 8, he bolts to the right, and he throws it completely, crosses body, wild high to Devontae. And then this is it, and Shannon's saying, just run, just go, just go.
Go.
Oh, I'm going to throw it across my body again to a double-covered Devontae at the goal line, and that had no shot of completing. And then your young head coach says, I've seen enough. So, wait. He didn't give him a chance. He kicked the field goal, obviously. So you're telling me that the young head coach, Matt LaFleur, should have given Aaron Rodgers a 4th and goal from the 8 shot? Do you know how difficult that is to convert?
Well, let me tell you what. Bill Belichick gave Tom Brady a 4th and 1 opportunity on his own 28 because he was so afraid of giving the ball to Peyton Manning. Yeah. Now, it didn't work out, Skip. You remember that game. It was a Sunday night game. And Aaron says, hold on. That guy gave him a 4th and 1 on his own 28, and you won't give me a 4th and goal on my own 8? So, Skip, I just think, and at the end of the day, LaFleur could have said, look, I gave him a chance. Hey, that's my quarterback. He's going to be the MVP. I trust him, put the ball in his hands. He should have just did that. That way, if it doesn't come out like you think to, what y'all want me to do? That's Aaron Rodgers. I put the ball in his hands.
You know what? That's a good point. you could have just let him deal with, you do it. You do it, and then it's completely on your head.
You let him do something bad to his own self.
That's what I'm saying. It's all up to you now. Let's see if you can convert 4th and goal from the 8. That's a hard convert, man.
Yes.
You know and I know.
Yes.
Even if you got Shannon Sharp at tight end, that's just a tough to pull that one off under fire, under pressure this is under 2 minutes in the NFC Championship game.
Well, Skip, if I put the ball in Kevin Durant's hands and he dribbles it out or something goes wrong, you can't blame the coach.
Yeah.
If you put it in one of your great players' hands, you can't blame the coach. I put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. Okay. Aaron, go make a play.
So I'm going to say it one more time. Your all-time sympathetic off-season figure who's wearing offended T-shirts is now 1-4 in NFC Championship games. That one was at home. And the only one he won was in Chicago against the immortal Caleb Haney in the second half, subbing for Jay Cutler.
Well, I'm going to wear a shirt because I'm offended you keep bringing up Aaron Rodgers' record. I'm offended that you keep doing that.
1-4. Lucky not 0 for 5.
I agree. I think we need to get you an offended.
I'm going to get one. I will. And I'll wear it.